So for future reference, you go to the participants. It'll list everybody that's in the call.
Okay.
And then you can click on their name and a bunch of options come up.
Wow.
And then you allow recording through there.
That's pretty cool.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we all in step.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's your week been like, Genesis? What you been
Real
doing?
good.
It's been real good.
But
What'd you do this
I
week?
have been a little sad because I have been missing you and Grandma and Friendly.
You been what, baby? I can't hear you. Can you say that again?
I
Say
have
it
been
louder for the ones
missing
in the
you.
back. You said what?
Yeah, I have been missing you.
You been what?
I've been missing you.
I was just playing. Y'all heard that? Yeah, what she said. I'll just let you know. I know I'm just meeting you, Miss Ryder. I know you new to this and everything, but I'm just pointing it out. I'm just putting it out there for everybody and everything. But yeah, I miss you too, Genesis. Are you all right, man? Do you need anything? Remember what I said earlier, right? If you need anything, bro, you let me know what you need and I'm gonna get it to you. Okay? I'm your daddy. And can't nobody make me let you down. So whatever it is that you need, like I got all this hand sanitizer and stuff that you've been saving up. And there's social worker, she says, I can't take you anything. She says, not me. She says she can't take you anything. She says she can't bring you your Easter basket or they can't have contact with you guys because of the virus and everything. You know, there's an outbreak right now. Do you know that people are getting sick and that's why you got to stay in the house? Do you know that you're not supposed to be playing on the playground equipment?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Need you kind of like stay away from people as much as you can, aside from the people that you live with. When you go out in public, kind of like practice staying a little bit back from people when you talk to people. Maybe don't shake nobody's hand for a couple months. Maybe just wave or something, you know. Hey, how you doing?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Daddy. Yesterday, I was thinking about you, and I started thinking about the song that I would always ask you to sing, and you'd bang your hands on the door.
I know what song you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Are you doing, Daddy?
You want to sing it?
Always with you. I know it may feel like I'm never coming home, but when I do, it's gonna feel like I was never gonna stay strong. Pray on, and you will never be alone. Ain't run since day one, and you will never be alone. And then you keep saying that.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. It's a little
Yeah,
different
but in
right
the
now.
middle, yeah,
Waiting on
when
you.
I was doing it, when I was doing the little FaceTime with Catherine, I started crying when I was singing that. It made me.
She misses you a lot.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I know.
That's pretty much. That's
That's my
basically
baby.
what
I deliver her. You know what I mean?
Oh, did you?
I've been having her since she was a year old.
Oh, you delivered her when she was born?
Yeah. We didn't have no doctor. We had a couple nurses and midwife.
Wow. Okay. So was Genesis born at home or was she born?
No, she was born in Harris Methodist in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, wow.
She was
Okay.
7
I
pounds,
didn't know
11
she was born in
ounces.
Texas.
She was 19 inches. She's a big
Oh
baby.
my God.
She was in the 80th percentile. So she was bigger than 8 out of 10 kids. You stand around the
Tall,
wall.
yeah. How much did she weigh?
She weighed 7 pounds and 11 ounces.
That's how much I weighed. Actually, that's like a popular weight for babies. Did she have any hair or was she bald?
Ah, she had a lot of hair.
She did.
A lot of hair.
I bet she was a beautiful baby.
Yeah,
you know, some babies.
Baby Genesis.
Yeah. Some babies come out looking like E.T. or Yoda, but I bet Genesis was very pretty.
Other people's babies. That's right. Other people's babies. That's right. I got lucky. I got one of the babies that everybody come up to me and tell me, "Oh, what a cute baby!" And I think, God, what do you say when when somebody don't have a cute baby, you come up and tell them what an ugly baby. What kind of? So I was
Are
like,
you-
yeah, she's cute, but I mean that made me feel bad too. At the same time, to get so many compliments, I was like, God, that made me feel. Don't give them all to us, spread them around.
Yeah.
But she's a pretty girl. She's a cute
Mhm.
kid.
Yep,
I love
very
you,
much.
Mojo.
Mhm.
Do you need any help on your schoolwork? Do you want to do that right now? Will we together? You want to get
Oh.
to work on it?
There are some things that kind of confuse me. Like a couple days ago, we were doing like finding the equal parts. Like if you have an odd number and you try to split it with two people and you try to make it even, it confused me. But then when I looked at her, because usually she'll have examples,
Mm-hmm.
and so when I looked at her example, she drew some dots,
Mm-hmm.
and it was try to find the equal out of 13, and she had six dots on one side and then circled it, and then the other side she had 6 dots and then circled it, and then she drew a dot that had no like circle. Because otherwise, if you split that with 3 people, that wouldn't be fair. They get 6 cookies. Both of them get 6 cookies, and you only get 1. What'd you do wrong?
So you're working with which numbers are evenly divisible, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got a book for that. Hold on.
Wow.
Yeah, we go to the bookstore a lot.
When you get time,
Ooh.
I'll get this to you.
Ooh, cool.
Timetable book. Okay.
That is gonna help me a lot.
Man, I wish I had that when I was
We're
little.
we're getting into times and stuff already, and I'm like, hey, I was just doing pluses and minuses. I'm already having to like draw dots to go backwards for times, but now I'm like, the teacher shows us a lot of tricks for like adding and subtracting. So, I love you, Friendly.
Friendly, do you
Oh,
hear
Friendly,
Genesis?
it's me.
Do you hear Genesis? She looks around when
It's
she hears
JoJo.
the name.
Hey,
And she hears the
Friendly.
voice. Friendly, you hear that? Who is that?
Yeah,
Is that Genesis?
I love you, baby.
How old is Friendly?
How old is Friendly, JoJo? Do you know?
I don't really remember. I think
about
she's
5.
3.5 or something.
Huh?
I think she might be 4.
She's older.
Probably
than
5.
4. Yeah, she's 5.
She's probably 5.
About
Mm.
5 or 6.
Wow.
She ain't gonna get no bigger than that.
She's so
about-
tiny.
Yeah, matter of fact, here, I'll let her stay here real quick. Sit down, Friendly.
Like a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Friendly. I'm trying to get her attention, and maybe she'll look at the computer. Hey, Friendly, lift up your head, baby. It'd be cool if Friendly. There's this little book called. Hey,
Ooh.
that looks so beautiful. I like the trees with that white, and that's just beautiful.
Who's that?
That's me.
Where you at?
Isn't that not Standing Rock. That's Black Hills, right? Black Hills. Uh-huh.
That's right.
I keep thinking of Black Hills.
It is the Black
Mhm.
Hills. You like
Black
that movie,
Hills. Black Hills is ginormous, but I have a lot of fun there.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to climb up there, but you do run out of breath.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like you only get a quarter up, and then you're like, can we take a break?
It's good exercise.
I think the last time we went Black Hills. I was probably the one that said, "Let's take a break. I'm a little tired." The most. I don't really even think my dad wanted to take a break. I only think he said it probably once, right, Dad? I don't really think you wanted to take a
Well, you have little legs.
I was gonna say you trying to make it sound like I'm the one with all the energy. And we all know better. And the people on the video, they closer to my age, so they already understand that I'm get wore out quick. That's you that's dragging me along. And she
You
stopped
don't
and she drank
feel-
water out the spring.
I don't remember you.
Be ready to go again.
What are some other fun places you and your dad go, Genesis? Sounds like he takes you to beautiful
Yeah,
places.
Six Flags. I really like going to Texas, and Texas had I really like when we go to visit great grandpa and
Ada.
Ada.
Ada,
I really
Oklahoma?
like- Huh?
Ada, Oklahoma?
No.
Oh,
My
okay.
grandmother,
No, in
my
Texas.
grandmother passed a couple years back. Well, it's actually more than a couple years now. It's about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago, my grandma passed, and my grandfather, my grandma passed on, and this couple that they were good friends with, the man passed on, and so his wife and my grandfather were alone, and so they lived together in assisted living.
Oh.
Yeah,
She's like
I
she's
really-
almost like a grandmother that we've kind of like adopted into our family, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
I really liked going to eat with them because
She
they had
likes the nursing
had
home,
the
she likes
best-
all the old people.
yeah.
Genesis is an old soul. If you haven't noticed, like talking to her and stuff, yeah, she likes things that older people like. I mean, she could kick
Yeah.
it in the nursing home and she doesn't get tired hanging out and playing bingo or something like that. And she
Yeah, likes to hear the stories.
She
I
likes
don't-
the conversation. She likes their like.
I really
their
like
demeanor.
hearing my daddy tell stories.
Mm,
I just really like stories.
yes.
A lot of times I'll just sit down with a book when I get bored. A lot of times, or when usually when we're in the car,
That's
you'll
crazy.
hear me.
You wrote a book. Do you understand that? That's crazy. I'm so proud of you right now. You understand? I'm writing a book. You writing a book. You know what I mean? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah. I really like so usually when we're going on a trip or we're in the car and I've got my tablet, you will never have to ask me, are you entertained in the back? Because I'll always be watching Pink Panther, reading a book.
Yeah.
Usually Dad will have me in the daytime. I'll have to be reading a book, and then at night you can't really read a book because it's dark. And then at night I'd be watching Pink Panther.
Ooh,
Pink
cool.
Panther is very funny.
It's funny. I've never watched Pink Panther. Maybe I should start watching it. Now, do you like it when your dad makes up stories or reads to you, or both?
He doesn't really make up stories.
Well, my mama. Thank you, JoJo.
I really only enjoy his real stories. Like
Oh.
he never really ever made up a fake story.
Oh, he tells
I
you
love
stories
you.
from his life.
Yeah, we talk about life. We definitely talk about life. People tell me sometimes that you know, like I'm the type of dad that if we see something in the world and my child asks me, what's this? I'm gonna explain it. And people think, you know, oh, you're not supposed to, you know, at that age, you don't supposed to. But we were somewhere one time and she saw a man wearing a dress. And she said, Daddy, that's a man in a dress. And I said, that's right, baby, that's a man in a dress. And she said, is he confused why he's wearing a dress? And I said, he might be confused. And I kept walking, I left it at that. But I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna drag it out. But at the same time, like I'm gonna let her know, you know, I don't hide things from my kid. If there was like gunshots and people say, oh, tell your kid it's firecrackers and this and that and everything. If you shelter children and you enclose them in a bubble, you know what I mean?
No,
Then
I agree.
you don't
I
afford
mean,
them the
if
opportunity.
I don't know that the world can be dangerous, I'm
The
just
world
gonna
can
think
be
that I can
dangerous.
walk everywhere and
Man,
everything's gonna be lollipops and rainbows.
Hmm.
I don't know
And
about that, but I'm just saying though, like, yeah, you're right though. Kids need to know things, you know what I mean?
yeah, and I think that it's good for them to know that sometimes their moms and dads don't know, and that's when, like, for example, if somebody asks, okay, well, how is the sky blue? And you don't know, you could just say, oh, I don't know, let's go look it up.
Yeah, if you don't know, then you shouldn't answer.
Yeah.
Genesis, have I ever told you I don't know?
Not really.
I mean, what kind of questions do you ask though? She asked questions
Usually ones
I
that
know
you
the answer
know.
to. I can't help that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I got an IQ test when I was in school.
Oh, I bet. Oh,
That's what
did
I'm
you?
saying. My daughter she has good genes.
Yeah.
She's real smart.
What were your favorite things to do in school? Were you a science person, a math person, a English person?
No, my mother was more math and science. She teach math and science.
Oh, cool.
I'm a what you call
that's
left
why I
hand?
really like math.
Excuse me?
That's why I really like math.
Yeah, you're pretty good at math. You're probably better at math than I am.
Me
Genesis,
too.
Yeah.
Do you think if I don't know the answer, I would tell you that, bro?
If you don't know the answer, you're gonna tell me that you don't know the answer. Because you shouldn't really lie about something if you don't know the answer to
Right. And that'd be a
it.
silly thing to lie about
And
anyway.
you barely ever lie. Actually, you never lie. You never lie.
Your dad's really honest.
It's as
Yeah,
honest as
Jojo.
honest comes.
You say honest as honest comes?
Yeah.
You character, bro. I miss you, Jojo. No, Jojo, you are so capable, folks, of doing anything you want to do in this world. You know that? Like, you are very accomplished, even at the early age that you're at right now. Very smart. I just want you to know that. I just want you to know that I recognize that. Genesis was on the news. Okay?
Really?
So right before she got taken, she was approached by a political candidate from the Democratic Party, and presidential candidate, and he wanted her endorsement.
Was it Bernie Sanders?
No, it wasn't Bernie. It wasn't Bernie. It was actually Tom.
Tom Steyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
Tom, not as well known as Bernie, not as high up on the food chain as Bernie. I mean, Bernie's something like a cult classic at this point. People know Bernie.
Yeah.
We've seen the Bernie guys though. We went out, we did some canvassing this year. And so while we were canvassing, we seen the Bernie Bros, I think they call them. We canvassed for Cory Booker and Tom Steyer.
Wow.
He dropped out. And we were gonna do a little work for Yang just because we support some of his platforms, and they asked us if we would, but they never followed up with us, so we didn't because they didn't have a lot of.
That's an educational civic activity.
Yes,
I mean, geez.
And
me and my daddy, we always want to help out in the community. Like my dad, he started Red Cross.
I didn't start the Red Cross, baby. I work for the Red Cross, but
yeah.
What I was gonna say is, because I'm a community organizer, so because we do that kind of work, had somebody come to me and said, "Can you endorse us?" You know, and I said, "Well, you know, like I support a lot of your platforms and positions." I said, that being said, my daughter's the ultimate judge of character for my household. So once you meet her and she signs off on you, then maybe we can get to work for you guys. And so she met with Tom Steyer, and she actually asked him to push the issue of racialism in America, pushed the issue of race relations. And he actually, at the last debate that he was at, he platformed the issue, I want to say 5 times, but it was about 90 minutes into the debate. Nobody else was touching it. And that's the only issue, Genesis, that he platformed, man. And he did that just because of you. I'd say it was about a week after you talked to him. So I credit all that to you. I feel like you are stronger than you know. And I'm just proud of you, Joe. Like, for real, the way that you spoke up and you articulated what you had to say. I asked her when we were leaving, after we spoke with his campaign and we were leaving, they asked me, they said, or Genesis asked me, Genesis asked me when we were leaving, she stopped my by the door and she kind of grabbed my arm and I said, "What's up?" She said, "Well, I want to ask him a question." I said, "Well, you should have asked him right then, bro. You had his whole attention." And I said, "Look, he's not doing anything right now. Everybody left. He's just over there by himself." I said, "What you want to ask him? Let's go ask him." She said, "I want to ask him what he's going to do about race." And I said, "Oh, you want to ask him what he's going to do about racism?" And she said, "No, Daddy, I want to ask him what he's going to do about race," which is so intuitive. In the choice of words right there, you recognize that before you can have a system based on classism, you have to have that division into those classes, into those recognized classes and that classism. So she recognized that before people can be discriminated against, there has to be a system put into place. So before you even stop this, you just stop this. You know what I mean? So it's her level of cognitive development. You understand that she understands how processes work, how to impact things through dynamics.
Yeah.
And so I felt like, I mean, I went over there with her and she asked him and everything, and he started, wow, I'm kind of stumped on that. So I went to his HR guy, you know, his human resources or whatever, the PR guy that he works with, his main guy for his campaign, and broke down a couple little resources, a couple little avenues that he could use. You know what I mean? I give him some kind of information, but I told him to be careful and watch yourself out here, because especially in certain areas of the company, certain areas of the country, but campaigning for equality can put you in some people's crosshairs. And,
Oh yeah.
And I let him know, I said, "Hey, I lost a son for this." You know what I mean?
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
amazing. That causes that, I bet. And Genesis, one thing about Genesis is that she's empathetic, and I think, you know, if she's aware of all types of people, which is what you've helped her become, that's commendable. A lot of kids her age don't know about anything.
Yeah, we're
like
Lakota.
that.
We're Lakota people though.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows that she know the history of her people. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Our people were the last people to sign a treaty with the United States government. We were the holdouts, the 1868 treaty. Okay, and that's the treaty that acquiesced the Black Hills to the Lakota people. So that land really isn't supposed to be settled or colonized by any of the people, according to, you know, treaties between sovereign nations.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying that that's why we've been involved in so much. Her first service project was painting Lakota Baptist Church.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Genesis, do you remember that?
Yeah.
We go out in the community, we paint churches, we pick up trash, we organize volunteer groups, do mentoring programs. Somebody told me one day, like, when all this stuff started going on, when they came and took my daughter, they was like, "Oh, you know, they're gonna try and," somebody said they're gonna try and put you in therapy, they're gonna try and micromanage this and and somebody told me, they said, "Gee, you don't need to go to therapy. Your whole life is therapy." He said, "You work for the Red Cross, you organize volunteer groups." He said, "You run a," man, come on. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, we do a lot of work, and it does help kind of regulate somebody, kind of regulate your mentality and like, you know, they say the mind, the body, and the soul are all connected. right?
Yeah.
Mind, body, and the spirit. So
Yeah.
you gotta have a healthy body, you know what I mean? Like pay attention to what you eat,
Mhm.
exercise and take care of yourself and stuff. Keep a good mentality, you know what I mean? Keep
Yep.
positive spirits, and all these things are connected.
Mhm.
So we do a lot of work, you know what I mean, that's good for the spirit. We do a lot of like stuff that keep us in good spirits.
And helping people is very good for the psyche, and it does really, I mean, studies have shown it does relieve anxiety and depression.
We drove to St. Louis one time. I was taking her to Six Flags. She said, I like going to Six Flags. We drove to St. Louis one time to go to Six Flags. We were about 30 minutes out about Wildwood by Baldwin. And the car that we was passing the car that was broke down. The car was broke down on the side of the road, and we stopped to see what they needed. And it was a guy and his sister. It was probably like 18, 19 years old or something like that, and drove in from Illinois to go to Six Flags. They were going to Six Flags too, and their car broke down.
Oh.
And they asked, you know, could I help them get something out of their trunk that they were trying to get to, like a tire and a jack and something that they thought was all underneath all this stuff. So we pulled out all this stuff out of the trunk, got that out. That didn't work. Had to go and get something out of Walmart. What did we get out of Walmart, Genesis, when we took them to the store? It wasn't a new tire. They had the tire, but it was something else. They had a different kind of jack or something. And we ended up spending the whole day running them around. And when we left and we started to go back to the hotel, I told her, I said, you know, it's kind of late. And I said, we probably don't have time to go to Six Flags. And she said, it's all right. And I said, is it? And I said, do you know that we did something more important? And she said, yes. So like I said, at the end of the day, when people show up at my door and say, your daughter has to come with us, I know that it's nothing to worry about. I know that to an extent, it's in God's hand. You know what I mean? But I also know that things like this sort themselves out. You know what I mean? I know who I am and who I'm not, and I know like our relationship, and I know our history and all that. And so I don't worry about too much stuff like that. But it was kind of hard. I did one day on a Monday, about the time I was about to be getting my daughter out of school, some people came to the door and said, you can't go pick up your daughter from school. She is in the custody of the state. And I said, well, can I see her? And they said, no, you know, you can't see her, not right now. I said, we have to have people set up to do that. You know, we have to get the services set up and stuff like that. And I said, you know, it's 2 social workers and a cop right here right now on my porch. So as far as I'm concerned, we got all the manpower that I can't see my daughter. Can I tell her myself that she can't come home? So did anybody tell you can't come? I told the lady at the porch, she said, we had to let her know that she couldn't come home. And I said, and what did she say? And she hung her head. And she understood. I said, yeah, but she wanted to come home, didn't she? And so it's hard, you know what I mean? Because like it's been 2 months and I haven't seen my daughter for so long. And you see how upset she was. And like she asked about me a lot, and she was upset. She wanted to see her dad when she see me just now. She was, oh, Dad.
And of course, COVID complicates things too.
I understand that, but I have no control over that, you know what I
I
mean?
know. Yeah, nobody does.
But that's one of them things that cuts both ways. You could say, oh, we don't want to move, you know, the child around a lot during like a health crisis. But then again, like if they double down and put her double time in like the wrong household, you know what I mean? Because, you know, hindsight is 2020. We won't know anything like that until later down the line. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Genesis, how are you doing?
Really kind of iffy. That's all.
Genesis, you okay?
Yeah.
What you think about, baby?
It's complicated.
It's just yesterday when I talked to Catherine, I didn't really understand how. I mean, like usually almost every time I was sick with you, you would always spend the day with me, and you'd be giving me hugs, and like I don't really know how that would complicate things for me not to be able to see you. Because I
Oh,
really
baby.
want to, like,
Let me explain something. Okay.
yeah, I don't want
So,
to be having this FaceTime, so I want to be able to give you a hug.
I know I do too. Let me explain something, Jojo. So what's going on right now? There were some scientists in a lab who were working with some kind of bioengineering, which means they were creating something, right? Am I right? I'm understanding that right?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking the Miss Fawn and Miss Catherine. Is
Oh,
Yeah.
is that
But
correct?
I understand.
So they were working on something in the lab, and some people got real sick, and it's some sort of respiratory infection that spreads. So imagine like a cold, but it's real bad though. It's a cold, but it's worse, you know? So you know how like you can go to school and you can play with the same ball as the last kid at the recess played with it, you know what I mean? And then you get like a cold or you might get the flu or something like that. So this is like a little bit more serious than that. It's worse than the flu. And it's real bad for older people or people with pre-existing health conditions, which means that, remember how Puggy has a bad heart and his dad has a bad heart? See, that's genetic. Some people have genetic disorders that are passed down. This is another thing that comes back to impact marginalized communities. So sometimes when you have like a lot of indigenous people have genetic problems. On our reservation, life expectancy is 50 years. And so some people have poor genetics, some people have stronger genetics, some people have stronger immune systems, all those things come into play. But if you get this disease and you have a weak immune system or you have, bad lungs or something like that, then it could make you really sick. It could maybe hurt you, kill you. So it's dangerous right now to be doing a lot of moving around when you don't have to. Like, it's good for you guys to get food and whatever you need from the store and then kind of go to the house as much as you can and kind of try to go out and do a lot of, that's why the movie theaters are closed, Jojo, the bowling alley, so that people don't just go out and do unnecessary stuff. They kind of just try and, everybody kind of wants to stay to themselves for a little while to make sure that this sickness doesn't spread, that people are spread.
and it won't last forever.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Something funny. When you talk, on this side of the phone, it sounds like a robot's trying to copy you. Because it's like.
I heard that, but I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. Probably just like movement and stuff, trying to go to 3 other phones.
It could be.
Dang, Jojo. Man, I can't believe.
I have to say that I really
Yeah,
like working with Genesis. She's a delight. She's fantastic.
Thank you. Oh, I work hard with her. You know what I mean? I spend a lot of time with her and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I do take a lot of pride in that when people say my daughter is well behaved or she has good manners or something like. So I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Very creative, very empathetic.
She's a good kid.
So she is.
She's got a good heart.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time, we were in, I keep trying to think, I keep thinking that it's a Gucci store, but it's not. But it has like Gucci belts, but it's not a Gucci store.
What are you talking about?
Swap meet. The swap meet. When we were in the swap meet, we were in that, I don't know whose it was. You know your friend?
Yeah, I know you're talking about D.
Yeah, with that big suitcase thingy.
D with the glasses and his dad worked down the hall. His dad got to stand down the hall.
Yeah, we went to Dad's stand, and there was that guy pretending he was a girl, and when we got out, and we were in the car, I said, "Hey, Daddy, why was that guy pretending he was a girl and stuff?" and I you I don't remember what you said, but you also said that you're proud of me for not saying anything or judging him and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not good to give people a hard time.
It's just what he likes.
Right.
Mhm.
And I mean, that doesn't mean that what he like is wrong or right, but that's not our business. That's not nothing that we have to worry about. You know what I mean? We got our own problems, folks. You know what I mean? Are you trying to come home right now, G? Are you trying to see? We got our own problems. That's why I'm saying we don't got to worry about stuff like that, bro. So sometimes you see stuff that doesn't make sense, and if it doesn't affect you personally, you kind of overlook it. You know?
Well, I've been with you guys for 1 hour, and so I'm going to sign off, but I will be seeing you. Fawn, is it Friday at 3? Awesome. Okay.
And I have to do another visit too. So,
Okay.
I thought we
I just I wanted to see how today went, and Friday, I don't have anything after you guys.
I thought we
So
was
we
till
can go,
6:30.
what?
I thought we was till 6:30 though. That's what my link said.
I
3 to
just
6:30.
put a time in there because it made me add time and I didn't want it to cut us off early.
Can we do tomorrow too? Like if they said we can have 15 hours of visits and then you guys spread them out every day, you know what I mean? That'll make them like 2 hours a day, and then that way she won't have to sit for so long. You know, like 'cause I know when I looked at it, it said 3 to 6:30. I said,
I
man,
know.
I don't know. She wants
Yeah.
to sit for
I
3.5
want to do
hours.
that. I want to do that.
Do it every day.
See my daddy tomorrow.
I can
Uh-huh.
get her. I can get
Well-
her a phone if she needs a phone to do the visits.
Okay. We'll probably have to change the times if we want to do it every day. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, just check with
As
me.
long as I can be with my daddy.
Mm-hmm. And I can do, like I said, the way it was, like, I only need to be, like, I can only hang out with you guys 2 hours a week. So, like, 1 hour, one hour Wednesday and 1 hour Friday. And that way you two can just chat with one less grown up, you know, and
Right.
then, yeah. And then Genesis, I'll be seeing you on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And so, yeah, just if you guys need to change the schedule, just let me know. I mean,
Or we can just start an hour earlier and you can do the
And then I
last
can
hour
join.
on Wednesday and Friday with us.
yeah, sure, I can join. Yeah.
Okay. And that would be, so let me look. So I could do 2 to
Daddy.
4
What's up, baby?
Monday through Friday,
Okay.
but then Saturday and Sunday we'd have to do a different time.
You said what?
I remember, Daddy, before we couldn't go to school.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah,
in the car driving
I can
away from
join
school.
At 3
Drive
o'clock.
by, and
Tuesdays and Fridays,
I
it's
heard you-
fine.
I heard you say that you love me, and it made me cry.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you.
It
Oh,
made me
I
that
see
I
you in
love
that bed.
Oh, honey.
You all right? Hey, JoJo, we're gonna get through this. You hear
Well,
me? So don't cry, all right?
Okay.
I don't want you to cry. And when you get off of the phone, I'm gonna be worried about you.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't know how long the conversation was gonna be.
Right.
Or I'd have
mhm.
kept it a little bit lighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd rather read you a book or something. Is there a way we can get like 20 more minutes? Or is it kind of like a we gotta go now kind of thing? Because
Well, oh no, you guys can keep talking.
Kathy's gonna get off. Okay.
Mhm.
So we'll go 5:30 today,
Okay.
Mhm.
okay? And then we'll plan on setting up times. I did create the meetings already. I will go and adjust those,
Okay.
Scott, for you and Kristen on the new schedule that we come up with. And then Kathy can just join in on Wednesdays and Fridays.
So is
Mhm.
Genesis use Kristen's phone, or should I get Genesis a phone so that Kristen can have her phone, and that way we're not in their way at all or anything? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure what works best for everybody.
That might
I
be
don't,
something
I don't want to inconvenience nobody. I wouldn't want that
Oh, no.
to be the reason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
that could
Right.
be something that Fawn and I could email. Oh my gosh,
Amy.
Amy. Yeah, we
Amy.
could email her about it and see.
Okay.
And in Genesis, of course you're crying. Of course you miss your daddy. Of course you're feeling sad because you miss him, and you're seeing him. You can tell him what you wanted to tell him that day. He can hear you. And this won't last forever. You'll be able to see him soon and give him hugs.
It's just when my daddy told me that, I had the window open, and I could hear my daddy, and I wasn't able to tell my daddy that I loved him too that time, because right after he said that, the car started moving, because we were waiting at a stop right next to my school. My daddy drove by and said that he loved me, and right after we were able to go, and it made me cry that I couldn't tell my daddy.
Do you want to
And it
tell him now?
Yeah, I really loved him. I really wanted to tell him that I loved him. I wanted to get out and give him a hug. But I couldn't control the car. I couldn't say, I could, I mean, like, sometimes I feel like I can't really talk. Like, nobody's gonna listen to a child because they think a child doesn't know what's best for them. What they're gonna want to know. And it really made me cry that I wouldn't be able to sit with my grandma in chapel. And I didn't want to tell, I didn't want to have to tell my grandma I can't sit with you in chapel. It just hurt.
Man.
That would hurt a lot.
Hey, Jojo.
I didn't want to not be able to see my dad. I never chose not to be able to see my dad.
Jojo.
I never wanted that.
I know, baby. It's gonna be all right, folks. Nobody can speak for you all the time. You remember what I told you about your brother? I said, anybody can speak for me anytime I'm not around, right? But when I'm there, it behooves me as a man to speak for myself. And so I speak up and I tell him, I say, I might be your dad. And I love you. And I give him thanks. Because I'm there to speak for myself. So what you do is you wait until the time when people let you speak for yourself. And I understand what you're saying. And I agree with you. I feel to an extent, people have maybe put words in your mouth or cherry pick things how they want to present things. But it's a time and a place, folks. You understand? It's a time for vindication. It's a time for liberation.
Hey,
And
Dad.
so sooner or later, you're going to get your chance. You're going to get your chance to speak. It's all right, folks. I love you, all right? I love you, and I got your back 100%, okay?
It hurts me, and I couldn't imagine how it would hurt you.
It hurts, man, but all I really care about is what's best for you, Joe. That's it. You know what I mean?
Like,
That's why I
even
wanted to talk to you and see what you wanted, because if you would rather be with your brothers and your sisters, and it feel better for you to be in a regular family where I don't know how you feel when you go to school and the kids think like you got a weird house because you just got a dad and you don't have a dad and a mom, and then your brother and your sister at a different house. I understand that might be hard on you. I don't know if you want to be over there. I don't know if you like it over here, if you like it over there better. And so I just want to know what's best for you. I want to know what you want, and I'm going to support you, whatever you want. I think it's crazy, these people to say that they do
I
something,
think
they move you because you said something, but that you can't decide where you want to live at. I don't think that's fair.
I
I think
think we
if they're
need to
going to
be
let you
done for
speak, they
today.
should let you
yeah,
speak.
I think so too. Okay. You know, that's something to think about when it comes to later
But she's
crossing that bridge
upset.
when
She
we get
just,
there.
huh?
Just making sure that Genesis does get a chance to say, and just to make sure that she does get like equal, because you are her father, and I believe that, you know, speaking as Genesis's therapist, working as the family therapist, you guys do have a very strong relationship, and she needs to be seeing you regularly. And we're working towards that. I mean, certainly, of course, I've only just met you. I don't know what you've been told, what you have to do to
They told me we don't have a case plan. So that means that they don't plan
okay.
on sending Genesis home.
There
Genesis,
needs
they
to be
don't.
a case.
Okay, you guys. I cannot let this continue with Genesis on
Not
the
with
phone like
Genesis.
this.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can't.
Okay.
If the two of you want to have a conversation together without Genesis, that's fine, but I have to stop that. She's already
Right.
upset.
Yes. Okay. You're absolutely right. Okay. All right, Genesis.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
We'll talk about something else. We'll talk about, tell your dad, do you have your list of happy things?
Here. I'll go get it.
Yeah, you should share that. It's really cool, all the cool stuff.
Okay. Got it right here.
All right.
Things that start with C that start with C that I like. I like cupcakes, and I also like the designs of carpets. They're
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. I like corn. I like to play card games. I like cream, like whipped cream and sour cream. I like sour cream on tacos.
Mm-hmm.
I really like to be able to play with other children, but most of all, I really like to be playing with my daddy. I like candy. I like all the things that you can do with cans. Like you can flip them over and then you can like play songs on them.
Mm-hmm.
I like this horse named Colt. Colt.
Genesis, what letter are you on today?
Right now I'm on C, E, and F, but I'm just telling my daddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can share what you have so far, and then do you think you can think up some letters for some things for E?
Uh-huh.
Right.
I'm gonna be doing D too. I like cleaning sometimes. I kind of like the shape of the cross. Like, I kind of like how it's like that. I don't know. I just really like the cross.
Mm-hmm.
I like,
You
I
like
like
to paint?
costume. Huh?
You like to paint?
Yeah, I like to paint. I like costumes. I also like crowns, and I like cheese, string cheese. Um, I like checkers. I like comfort dogs. I like crackers. I really like being in the car, so I like cars. Um, and I like cartwheels. It would really make me happy if I could do one. But for D, um, I have dad. I have dreams. I have donuts. I have Dalmatians, the movie. I like dogs. I like donuts.
Do you remember how you told me you liked dogs? You
Yeah.
said cover your ears, and so I covered my ears,
Yeah.
and then you said, then how did you do it?
Dogs.
Yes, that's how much you love dogs.
I like the movie Dumbo. I really like polka dots. I like dolphins. Oh, I don't know where it was, but me and you, we went to this little thing where we walked on this little bridge, and we could see these dolphins. I think it was right, Dad?
You said we walked on a bridge and you seen what, baby?
Dolphins. Me and you. I think we did.
You are
Wasn't that
taking
in the
you taking the Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you went out there and you kind of like swam around by the shore, and you was kind of close to the dolphins even.
Okay.
I
Hi you guys. I just got I'm signing out. How are you doing, Genesis? Are you ready?
For what?
Are you hold on. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to sign off.
Okay.
And Genesis, I will see you Friday. Yeah,
And I'll
and
keep
are you
talking
going
with
to
you,
think up some E's and F's, and that's what you'll
Yeah.
spend the rest of
But
the
I'll
do
keep
she
talking
still
with my daddy. Okay.
do she
Okay.
still go? Do she still go physically then down there to? Don't you? Cause don't you work over? I think you work where my mother works at the Center Mall.
No.
No, okay. I thought Capstone was on 42nd.
Well, we moved. We're on 22nd Street.
Oh,
We're
okay.
across from the Masonicum.
So do she? Oh, you are in Fremont?
Yep.
I thought it was a Capstone. Is there a different Capstone or something? I don't know.
There's a Capstone in Omaha.
Okay, maybe it's a different group or
We're a
something.
satellite group of that. Like, it's the same Capstone, but two different locations. One in Omaha, like East Omaha, and the other in Fremont.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was
Well,
wondering.
it was nice to meet you.
That was good meeting you.
And I'll see you Friday. It's nice to meet you too, Fawn.
You too.
See you Friday.
Right. See you Friday.
Okay. I also like dodgeball and Domino. I really miss Domino, Daddy. She was a good dog. Hey, Daddy, remember that first time? I think it was the first time, but I played dominoes. I like the game dominoes, and
Man, how did you know? That's what I was going to ask if you wanted to do, because we got so much time in our visits. And I was going to ask if you
I
wanted
was going to
play.
suggest that if there's games that you guys like to
Yeah,
play,
we play games and I'll read her book.
Yep.
I got a stack of books right here for you.
Yep.
Time
How
table
about we
book.
try that tomorrow? You guys can play games, and that will kind of lighten the mood and, give you guys something else to think about and talk about.
What's that? Oh, we got so much to talk about.
Does that sound okay with you, Genesis?
yes.
Okay.
That one. The Standenberg book. What do you think, Genesis? Read some books and play some games tomorrow?
Uh-huh. But I really want to see you soon.
I know, baby. This, like I said, man, this stuff will get better. Okay. And
Hopefully the stupid virus will go away and everybody can get things back to normal. Okay?
yeah, that too. But I mean, I'm think she talking
I
about
know.
home, yeah.
I know.
Sooner or later.
Yep.
And
Okay? You just focus on enjoying the time together right now.
yeah.
Even though it's not ideal and it's not what you want,
No,
but
we've
we
never
just
had
have
a
to
visit
focus on the
phone.
positive.
Yeah, we've never had a visit on the phone.
Yeah, it's awkward. It's different. And like you saw, this is the first time I've done it like this through Zoom. And it can be frustrating. You know,
But-
you can't really
But
see and
like I come back a lot of times from different states
Mm.
for like parenting time, like the time I first got custody of her. I was in a different state and her mom came to Nebraska and told me, I'm in Nebraska. I dropped what I was doing and I came back. You know what I mean? Like every time I have, my week come up, if I'm in Dallas or if I'm in South Dakota or if I'm in Chicago, or it doesn't matter,
right,
she's just a priority to me. So
right,
we've never had like a FaceTime visit or anything like that.
right.
That's why I was telling her when she first said, I want to set up these FaceTime visits. I said, man, I feel like that devolves our relationship,
Yeah.
'Cause we're so used to
Yeah.
like having a real, physical interaction.
Right. Yep. And that's why I think, come up with some games. Even Genesis, you can come up with some game ideas for Dad that you guys want to play. And Dad can read you books and just kind of focus on the time together as best you can. You can still see and talk, and it's not the same, I know, but it's working towards a better. Okay?
And hey Daddy, can I tell you one of the pages from my book I was making you? Okay, one of the
Yeah, but
pages.
Jojo, before we keep going, I gotta, I know you said that you didn't say anything to get sent where you're at and all this and that and everything.
Can't talk about it, Scott.
I know, but I
Can't.
want.
I will have to hang up the call. And then you will not get visits every day.
For what?
Okay? You cannot talk about it at all with her.
Talk about. Okay, which part can I talk about? So I know what I can't talk about.
You cannot talk about anything that has to do with her getting taken away.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. Genesis. Not about when you got took away, but remember I was talking to your therapist and I was explaining to her that you don't need to know what delivery. You understand I was there when you were born, right? Remember that? I was there. You remember who else was there, right? My grandma, my Unchi, she was there. And before you were born, your mother and I, we thought you were gonna be a boy. So when we came to the hospital, we had all boy stuff. Okay. You had the little Jordan black and blue J's that matched the little onesie. And your name was gonna be Isaiah. Okay. There was no point that we thought you were gonna be a girl. And I went to the hospital and you were born and a little girl came out. And I spent days in there. I wrote 3 pages full of hundreds of names, first, middle, and last name, because I wanted you to have the best name. And I didn't know I was gonna have a little girl, right? You understand, Genesis? I thought I was gonna have a son. And so seeing your brother for the first time this year, you know, at school, when they put him in school, that was real hard on me as a man. Okay. You understand what a resentment is?
Mm,
A resentment.
Let's not do this. Okay.
What?
Find something else to talk about, because it's not, she's already upset, and it's not for her to, I mean, I get that you want to explain what's going on and whatever happened, but let's not do that.
So what am I allowed to talk to her about? Because these are things that she's bringing up. She's saying that she's upset, that she feels like she did something. I'm trying to let her know.
I understand that, and her therapist will talk to her about that.
Her therapist is going to tell her what to think, right? I'm just saying, Genesis thinks one thing and they tell her, that's not what you think. You need to think.
Okay, then I need you to have a conversation with Catherine, and you guys need to have a session together. Because I have to keep this as positive as possible, or they're not going to let you guys talk.
Okay, but how much more positive can I be than trying to be accountable for?
I just don't think this is the time or the place. It's not a burden for her to carry, and that's what she's gonna do.
I'm not asking her to carry anything. I'm trying to tell her that it has nothing to do with her. That's what I'm trying to let her know, is that I'm not that I thought that she was supposed to be a boy, but what I'm saying is that her mother has prevented me from having any kind of relationship.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. You
And
cannot
she
talk
already
about that
knows
stuff.
that.
We're gonna be done tonight, because I've tried to explain this to you before. You cannot talk about the case. You cannot talk about her mother.
But that's
You
not
cannot
about the
talk
case.
about-
But the case has nothing to do
Scott,
with Elijah.
I'm not gonna do this with you over the phone. All it's gonna do is upset Genesis. I'm not doing this with you. Genesis,
Well,
tell
I'm
your
not
dad you
trying to
love
do
him
anything.
so we can
Come
be
on,
done.
man.
No,
okay.
I'm not-
Genesis,
that she's
tell
upset.
daddy you love him and goodbye, or I'm just gonna have to end the call.
I'm not talking about the same thing.
It's
You
okay.
told me
Okay,
to talk about
I'm hanging up the phone.
It's okay. It's okay.